Katie Tur interviewed a guy named Scott Brown. He is an Arkansas farmer talking about how the tariffs, and I'm sure you've seen clips of farmers out there who are talking about how like they're looking at their crops and they're going like, I got to mulch it. There's no one to buy it. The tariffs have destroyed the soybean sales for farmers because China has basically said, yeah, we're just going to look elsewhere to buy it.
Well, we've got a real disaster with this tariff deal. I mean, we produce 40% more agricultural products in this country than we can consume domestically. 1 in every 4 rows of soybeans in every field in the entire United States of America has to go abroad. China is the largest importer of soybeans in the world. They import 61% of the world's market. Last year, we sent around $12 billion, I think $14 billion worth of soybeans the year before. For the first time in 20 years, China's bought 0 soybeans and 0 new crop corn out of this country.
0?
So we went from 12 billion to 0.
Where are they buying the soybeans?
Brazil. You see, we lost 42% of our market share in the first tariff war. In Trump's first tariff war, the Chinese went to buying their soybeans from Brazil. They invested billions of dollars in Brazilian infrastructure. They have moved into Africa, and they're going to commercially farm in Africa. Since we left with USAID, they moved their Belt and Road program into Africa. So we've pretty much lost the Chinese market share. If we got 100% of the soybean business, Katie, for every country in the world except for Brazil and Argentina, we would still only have half the soybean business that China.
You wonder why Lula is willing to say F you to Trump. Like, this has been just this boon to them.
This timing of this whole, we're going to go it alone, America is the world power. Well, we're not that anymore. There's a big other one, and they can just partner with it. And, you know, maybe that guy can just sell his farm to Trump's friend Bill Gates, who was just in the White House, because Trump's Interior Secretary Doug Burgum, people might want to look him up, is one of Bill Gates' closest friends and indeed is a billionaire because of a partnership with Bill Gates.
Well, you know who actually is a partner in a fund that is buying up foreclosed farms? J.D. Vance.
Oh, yeah, well, perfect.
Everybody's going to get rich.
Coincidence.
Except for not you. This is a story from Politico. So that's on the tariff end. Pop up, find that story. It is entitled, "The Whole Thing is Screwed Up. Farmers in Deep Red, Pennsylvania struggle to find workers." The whole thing is screwed up, said John Painter, a 3-time Trump voter who runs an organic dairy farm in Westfield. "We need people to do the jobs Americans are too spoiled to do." Is this 3-time Trump voter saying that Americans aren't capable of doing this? That there's a problem with the American character? The U.S. agricultural workforce fell by 155,000, about 7% between March and July. Well, don't worry, folks, because the Medicaid patients are on their way. Pew Research Center data shows that total immigrant labor fell by 750,000 from January to July. Mission accomplished. People don't understand that if we don't get more labor, our cows don't get milked and our crops don't get picked, said Tim Wood, dairy farmer and member of the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau of Directors. What are the chances that the tech billionaires and the other billionaires, to be fair, who run this administration sat around and went, we can defund colleges, we can kneecap universities, we can roll back, as they're deciding to do, discretionary funding for colleges with large minority student populations. We can literally turn back the clock in terms of educating our citizenry then we're going to have plenty of people who can work in the fields. Like, this notion of high-skilled profession, we can't compete anymore. So if we go back to some semi-agrarian lifestyle, farmers often turn to undocumented laborers because of the red tape and high costs associated with the H-2A program, which allows migrant workers to fill jobs in seasonal agricultural industries. They also complain that the H-2A, the nation's largest temporary visa program, is off limits to employers looking to hire year-round operations like dairy farms. Well, the real problem here is that they want to bring in workers who can't organize and protect their rights as workers. And they want to bring them in full time. But they also don't want to make it explicit that they're doing this because the people they voted for 3 times say that all these people are basically here to rape and kill us. I mean, the entire farming industry in this country, and for so long, the Republican Party was like, we got to protect our farmers.
Well, that was mainly about income tax.
Exactly. The family farm, if we have the estate tax, what's going to happen to the family farm? It's just unreal. And, you know, the failure, I want to make it clear, this is all Republicans. But the failure of Democrats to seize this opening is stunning. I understand Chuck Schumer is busy trying to figure out the best way for him to cave on this budget deal. But nevertheless, like the idea that you now have the mainstream media, that you have Politico reporting on a dynamic where Trump voters are getting screwed by Trump in Pennsylvania. Politico. Like how far behind, how much of a sort of lagging indicator can the Democratic Party be? And I'm talking about the leadership of the Democratic Party. Let's be clear. How much of a lagging indicator can you be? Like, I get we lead from behind. But I mean, how far behind? If Politico is ahead of you in this, you know you've got a problem. Just shocking.
What kind of bull is this?
Yes. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.